A couple of changes, but exciting I think. I'll be forwards coach assisting Murph with the forwards for Gloucester Hartpury, and then Gloucester Hartpury under 23s head coach, so leading on that pathway, trying to find the next act. Similar to the work I did last year, Murph will take a lead on scrum and I'll take a lead on line out, so still doing a bit of a double act with Murph, which is really enjoyable. Great to work with him. I learnt a lot off him last year, so working with him again in a slightly different role will be exciting. Not too much coaching, like I don't need to tell Alex Matthews and Zoe Allcroft how to play rugby, so we just try and facilitate the best and most competitive environment we can for them, try and give them as many challenges and situations to try and rip into in training. We're pretty nicely aligned, Pathway and Gloucester Hartpury, which we're really proud of. Those girls seeing our senior internationals coming back into the environment will be really exciting. Also pretty exciting for those younger players in our pathway currently that are being coached by some of those senior internationals coming back in, and some of the Gloucester Hartpury players that are already coaching them. Murph was big over the summer on trying to trust the next act, trust the pathway, so we've retained much of our senior squad, which we're really pleased with. Obviously you've got box office talent across our senior squad. The challenge for us now is how we find the next act coming through in the pathway. It's tough for us to identify the very best players amongst what is a large pathway across our Hartpury A squad, across Bucks Super Rugby squad. Luckily we've got a good coaching team that are pretty good at picking out that talent. We've given loads of players opportunities during that PWR Cup period, and we've seen some of the next act and we're really pleased with where they're at. One is, it's great how aligned the players are, so you've got some of those PWR players coaching at Hartpury, and you've got some of those players to look up to. I've also been really pleased and impressed with how much Banners and Murph have been involved. There hasn't been an Ace or a Bucks game go by yet at Hartpury that they haven't been out watching, so I think that's class for girls that join Hartpury College at 16 to see Banners and Murph as the two of the Gloucester Hartpury coaches out watching in their training, giving them feedback is class. Murph was really clear at the start of that PWR block, that all the players would get an opportunity that impressed, so we're really pleased that we gave loads of players opportunities. Some players really put their hand up. Loads of players have now transitioned into our BSR environment, back into Bucks Super Rugby, and they've gone away with things to work on for the next season so that when they come back into Gloucester Hartpury they're ready to compete. Caught up with 40 over the summer and caught up with 40 over the last couple of weeks, and they're really excited for Bucks this year. That Bucks League is growing every year, Bucks Super Rugby is growing every year, it's getting more competitive every year, and that's a really challenging space for our players to operate in and to play in. So the alignment between Gloucester Hartpury and that BSR space is really important, and working with Fordy and Murph, we're sort of pretty keen to make sure that continues. The alignment is probably one of the biggest pieces of or areas of focus for us. Players that are playing in Bucks Super Rugby are able to transition between the Gloucester Hartpury PWR Cup squad or even into our Premiership squad for training, then back into our Bucks squad. And because they play the same way, they operate the same system, similar coaching staff across the squads, that transition is as seamless as possible for the players. I find that as exciting as I do having the international girls come back in. Obviously it'd be class to welcome in the Roses in the next couple of weeks when they transition back from winning the World Cup. I find it just as exciting as if we can get as many young talented players into that Prem Cup squad or into the PWR training squad as possible. We signed some players from other clubs in the last few years that have added immensely to that Gloucester Hartpury squad. The reality is the vast majority of our squad, we do try and grow our own, so they come from our own pathway. So the challenge for us now, having had that on-field success, is to try and find that next act.